It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man.
Representing
That's how I like to start things, man.
podcast number April 25th.
Yeah, that's correct. I believe. If you say so.
Right.
It's my phone. I can assume that's the correct date. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I mean, I guess it just also depends when you put it up. You know, you might put it up in...
Oh yeah, it might be a long time, man.
Yeah, so...
But now I'm starting to jump around with my episodes, man. I had it in a very fucking linear order, man, and I wouldn't go away from that at all, man. So everything was totally sequential and shit. And now it's I decided fuck it, man. So it might come up later. It might be in 3 months.
Oh, by the way, I found one of Buzz's slippers in my car this morning. Just throwing that out there.
I forgot he had slippers, man.
Yeah. Why? I don't know. I have no idea, but I remember seeing him take everything out of his bag in Troutdale, and I did see him take his shorts out of his bag, so his shorts are at the ring.
Oh, they're at the... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say anything because he was like...
We weren't going back there.
Right, and he was like, if I can't find my weed, we're going back. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, dude. We were out southeast over the Burger King by the Hawthorne Bridge. And, by that time it was, no, dude, we're fucking 2 seconds away from where we're dropping you off. And Troutdale's fucking 20 minutes.
It would have taken 20 minutes to get back out to the ring.
Yeah.
It would have taken 45 minutes if I dropped you off first, which if Buzz made me go out to Troutdale, I wanted to take you home first. But also, it was 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that's when everyone leaves. So.
Yeah, and it would have been locked. They're not leaving that shit unlocked.
Right.
It's fucking ringing there, man. They're gonna have long train of fucking people fucking carrying it out for fucking 6 hours, man. It's a small job.
Yeah, and Buzz is the person that you can't just say, this is how it is. He has to see. He would have to go out there to see that it was locked. We couldn't just be like, hey, it's locked. It's no use. But I need my shorts. Or whatever.
That's what happens, man. Some people are like that, man. When I guarded that Walmart, dude, and I had to tell people the shit was closed. They still wanted to check for themselves, dude. Go up to the fucking door, man. The parking lot's empty. The lights are on inside. I understand that their lights are on inside, but the parking lot is completely empty, and you're the only car here, and there's a guy standing out front saying the place is closed. You know, I had better things to do on Christmas than fucking hang out in the middle of nowhere at Walmart.
I know.
Walmart. Yeah, it was kind of nice though, man. It was a good way to spend Christmas. I had a good time.
Christmas is a good day to film stuff in public when you want everything to be closed.
Yeah. Without permits and shit, you just fucking go out there, man. That's a really good idea.
Me and my buddy did that, and we did a skit where we were roommates because his roommate was gone, and I went to his place for Christmas Day, went there at 10 in the morning, and we were doing a short skit where we were looking for each other because it was Christmas, and we can't find each other. I'm looking at the local bagel shop and going by the grocery store and the bar, and he's going to this place and we're looking all over, but then like we finally like check each other's bedrooms and like that's
like, oh, you're here all the time,
yeah,
man.
Should have checked here first.
Shit. Yeah, I just went out and here you were, man.
And then we ran like we played like we did like Christmas like Bob Dylan Christmas renditions and stuff, you know, like jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. And yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna segue into something else, but okay, like you know when you meet someone new, like
yeah, I don't know if that's ever happened with me before. I just kind of knew everybody already.
I just kind of knew everyone already. Well, eventually they want to know like what you're into, you know, and so I decided like when I meet someone I'm just gonna like come out of the gate and say like, you know, I'm Bryan, like I'm Bryan, I like techno and professional wrestling.
Yeah, sometimes that works. Sometimes it's absolutely horrible.
Usually it's horrible.
Usually, that's my life, dude.
So I meet this girl, and okay, and this is why I hate John Cena. All right. So I meet this girl, we're talking, and you know she's telling me how she's nerding out to this one anime, like Mushishi something. I don't. I used to play Pokemon like 10 years ago, but Ghost in a Shell and Ninja Scroll, like I know a few names, but
drop a little Pokemon knowledge.
Yeah, you know, get that holographic Charizard from the starter pack. But I used to hustle the kids in the neighborhood for their Pokemon cards for keeps. That was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
But, yeah.
This was after the Pog. The Pogs.
Yeah, it was after the Pogs, and you had
something new to fucking steal from the fucking neighborhood kids.
I didn't have the brain power for Magic, so I stuck with the Pokemon. And
so that's what Pokemon was. It was sort of because I never got into Pokemon. Yeah. I played Magic for 3 weeks, and then I fucking had this big stack of cards, and I'm like, dude, this game is not for me, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Pokemon was more the.
Yeah, I mean, you only had when I got into it, there was only like 151 Pokemon, so like you only had that many character cards, and then you had like the booster cards, and each character had like certain hit damage and certain health, and certain elements were stronger against other elements, like water was strong against fire.
So it's the same thing, but rather than like mythological stuff, it's like anime stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So
and tone way down, because Magic was just like just way out there, and there was a lot going on, and like thousands of cards. Yeah. My understanding.
You know? Yeah, there was a lot, man. Especially later on, like. So yeah, when it started out, I mean, there was like 3 or 4 decks. It was like a red deck, a blue deck, a black deck, and maybe something else, green deck. They all had different things. This was like when I was in 6th or 7th grade, I think, maybe, somewhere in there when it came out, and might have been 5th grade, but dude, it was some weird stuff, man. It was around that time of Mist. Was that you I was talking about with Mist?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like at the same time. It's like, let's put Mist in Magic. Ooh, man, what's going on here, mid-1990s?
Oh my gosh, Mist. That game drove me crazy. I think that's when I first began having issues with blood pressure. I'm like 10 years old and like having like just having a fucking stroke from high blood pressure from that game. But yeah, so the kids down the street, they would modify the rules and play for keeps, and it was just like the better cards that you wagered, the better chance you had of winning, but if you lost your cards, you know. So I would just come out of the gate, holographic Charizard, holographic Blastoise, you know, just the top fully evolved Pokemon, and I would just destroy the kids and keep their cards, and and that created a lot of issues because then they would like cry to their parents, and I'm like 15, 16 years old, and they're all like 12, 13, and it seemed like I was bullying them, but they were always like, you want to play Pokemon, play for keeps with the modified rules? I'm like, all right, sure, yeah, I'll take your cards.
If that's how you're playing, sure, I'll do it. I'm not gonna. Don't be crying, man, when I fucking take all your cards.
Yeah, but okay. Anyways, backtrack. Why I hate John Cena.
Oh yeah, John Cena.
So I meet this girl. She's telling me she's nerding out to Mushishi, this anime show, and she's telling me about it, and I'm like, no, she's like, you like it? I'm like, I've never really heard of it. She's telling me about it. I'm like, you know what? We all have to nerd out to something. Like, if you don't nerd out to something, anything, then you're not human. Like, you don't have, like, you haven't pinpointed, like, a passion. Some people nerd out to Star Wars. Some people nerd out to, like, cars, if you're, like, a wrench monkey or whatever. Like, ooh, a 67 Chevy, blah, 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 blah. Like,
yeah.
So she asks me, what do I nerd out to? And I said, professional wrestling. And then I start explaining it to her, ultimately it's the good guy against the bad guy. The good guy, the crowd cheers for, the bad guy, the crowd boos for. If they don't elicit any reaction, then they just suck as a wrestler. Like, they need to work on their craft. And I'm explaining to her, like, just, it's like a movie. Like, sometimes you gotta just, like, let yourself, like, it's cool when or it's cool when you don't know if they are actually hurt or not. You just hope that they're not. Like, oh, that looked like it hurt. Oh, and he's holding his face, like, just right. Like, he could really be messed up. And, oh, he's finishing the match. Like, he's digging deep within. And then she says, so John Cena's a good guy. Like, damn it! Yes, like, of all the people you could mention, you mentioned motherfucking John Cena. And she was like, well, then what about the guy with the orange hair? Like, oh, Sheamus? Like, yeah, he's a good guy too. And then she was like, wasn't Stone Cold a bad guy? And then I was like, alright, she's not as... She knows a little bit more about wrestling than she leads on.
Well, I mean, Stone Cold's still, like... A lot of people know Stone Cold, but still, that's a step. With John Cena, like, everyone knows John Cena. Like, everyone back in the day knew fucking... Hogan. And everybody, like, knows The Rock and Stone Cold, probably. I mean, like, that shit was fucking...
That's when it was just...
pretty huge. Like, that was, like, ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, now, yeah. Like, The Rock and fucking Austin were huge, dude.
Yeah, and I explained to her, I was like, like, the cool thing about wrestling is, like, even, like, the most, like, hardcore fans that are, like, in the loop of what's going on, like, there's still room for surprise. Like, when Hogan joined the NWO. Like,
oh, dude, yeah.
Like, everybody knew that, like, Hogan was the man. He was the good guy of good guys.
For a long, long time.
Yeah, he was like the Seinfeld of stand-up. Like, he's like the wrestler's good guy.
Yeah.
Can
you imagine if Seinfeld just went and fucking turned, dude?
He started dropping, like, F-bombs and talking about, like, penetration and stuff. Like,
I would totally go see that.
Oh, it would be a breath of fresh air, but that, and then I also told her, I explained to her Undertaker's streak, and I was just like, everybody knew that Undertaker was going to win, at WrestleMania 30. Like, there was no doubt about it. You wanted to see the match, even though everybody wanted to see the match. People got WrestleMania just to see it because they knew he was going to win. Yeah. And he lost.
Yeah.
Like, that's the type, like, that's just, I can appreciate that because, you know.
Dude, I was like, okay, that's fucking cool. I was just like
what? Like, it moved me emotionally.
Yeah, dude, and someone who's fucking been around, like, you know, a little bit, like, at least a little bit, man, like, seen some things, man, like, yeah, that fucking blew my fucking head, dude. I was just like, what the hell happened, man? You know, I'm not always shocked.
Right.
You know, that's the most recent memory thing that fucking shocked me. Like, I mean, the Hogan thing fucking shocked everyone.
Well, I mean, other than that, like, what else? What, those 2 points, and then what other moments in wrestling were, like, really awe moments?
None that I can think of.
Right.
I mean, those are the only two that fucking, like, stick out in my head of just, like, you know, from that, you know, good guy to bad guy fucking turn right there, man. Like, those are the only two that really, really stick out.
Right, other than, like, shocking deaths, you know, like Owen's death or this or that, but, like, storyline-wise...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that was storyline, what happened. It's
like, explaining it to him, they're like, and then everyone's going to think that you're going to come down from the rafters, but really you're going to fall.
Okay, let me get this right. I don't want to fuck this up. Okay. I think we got this. Just drop. Sure. I'm going to die? Yeah.
Yeah. It's what we have written in the script, but you never know. Things could change at the last second.
I'm going to go to heaven, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. You're positive about this. You're not fucking with me. No.
You're not ribbing. This isn't a rib, right?
Going to heaven. Okay, good. Yeah. Alright, okay, I'll do it. Fuck it. And here we are fucking 15 years later.
Right? That was quite a while ago, yeah. Over the Top 99 or something?
Yeah.
Oh. God dang. I got pulled over yesterday.
Oh shit.
By a cop.
No, wait. You got pulled over and it was by a cop.
Actually, it was an old lady in a golf cart.
Cool, man. That's
yeah,
I was. Do it. What happened?
Well, I'm minding my own business, driving up TV Highway, like,
oh shit,
jamming out to some freaking Lady Gaga.
Naturally.
And then I noticed the cop behind me after like 5 minutes, and at first I was like, oh, it's just a Jeep, but I'm just like driving, just like, for the applause, I do applause. So of course, me being like the super paranoid, draw attention to myself like I have a pound of weed in my trunk. I turn the radio down. I go back to 10 and 2, like roll my window up, totally like get his undivided attention. And then I'm driving, and I had to go up, like, I was going to go up like 10 blocks and then turn right and go to the bank, but instead I turned early, and it was like a 4-way stop. And I stopped and then went through into the bank, and then when I was getting out of my car, he pulled up behind me and had his lights on and walked up, and I was like, hey, what's up? And, I was getting out of my car, and then I saw him, so I rolled my window up, and I was like, hey, what's up? And, like, handed him my license, and he's like, you rolled through that stop. And I was like, no, I didn't. He's like, yeah, you did. I was like, whatever, like, here's my license. And then I gave him... This is the best part. I gave him my insurance card, which expired a week ago.
Oh, fuck.
But I was just like, oh, I was like, here's my insurance, and he's like, it expired on the 16th, and I was like, oh, well, I can pull up the updated one on my phone if you want. He's like, no, that's fine, just print it out. I was like, okay. And then he was like, do you have the registration? And I handed him my license, or the title, which I haven't switched over into my name yet. And one thing that I noticed, like when you buy a car, like don't put in the date of sale, because then that starts when you have to register the vehicle under your name.
Right.
You just sign it. And because I bought it in December, and it's been a few months.
Yeah.
So I'd have to pay whatever the late fee is. Each month you have to pay like another like $60 or whatever. It's ridiculous. So I gave him that, and he's like, well, how long have you had the car? And I was like, oh, just like 2.5 weeks. Okay, make sure you get that switched over. It's like, all right.
Well, now you gotta.
Well,
long you're gonna get pulled over by the same cop.
Right. And I mean, I should do it soon, but it's just I kept putting it off, and then I lost my job, so I was like, well, I'm gonna save expenses where I can. But
yeah,
I mean, that's no excuse, because there's a lot of cops out in that area.
Oh no shit, dude. That's what I was saying. As soon as you said TV heavy, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Fucking Beaverton and Washington County cops, dude, they're fucking some of the hardest ones to deal with, dude. Like, besides, like, I don't know. I always think, like, Beaverton, you really have to watch yourself. Fucking Westland, you really have to watch yourself. And then after that, it's like, those are like the two spots you have to watch yourself the most at anywhere in the metro area.
Yeah.
As far as cops. I mean, there are parts of both cities where you have a little bit more leeway, but you never know, like,
right.
what's going to happen in either one of those places. And it's life, man. Like, you can go out in most of Portland and just fucking do whatever. I'm not condoning doing whatever, but,
Yeah. Well, it's, it's stupid, because it's like, they need to make weed legal.
Right.
They need to make it so you can smoke in public. They treat it like cigarettes or whatever.
Right. Just don't be a dick if there's, that's common.
Well, yeah, if you're not, you wouldn't suck down a freaking fat cigar in a crowded circle of individuals. You're not gonna suck down a blunt in the same situation or whatever. Like,
yeah. But if you're walking down the street, there should be no reason why you can't fucking smoke a fucking blunt or a joint or something.
Right.
Just don't fucking stop. That's the one thing. Like, unless you're in a spot that's far away, but if you're in a spot that's like in public, it's a lot better to walk around than fucking stand in a spot. But I don't know, it's at your discretion most of the time. But sometimes, like, I'm going around at night, like on my bike and stuff, and, if I can pick up on when people are burning, some people just not picking good spots, which I can't say much because I fucking pick some bad spots. But, I always think walking around is better.
mm-hmm.
Well,
it is too, because like when you smell it, when I smell it, I try to like see where it's coming from.
right.
I'm curious, I'm looking around, and if the source is the same spot for like 5 minutes or whatever, like if you catch a waft, you could probably pinpoint it.
Yeah.
You could smell if it's coming from above you, behind you, the left or the right, and if someone's walking, then that, that point where the X, Y, and the Z graphs meet, that matrix of the emission of odor or whatever it's coming from it's constantly moving, so the perspective of finding it is moving as well. And if it's in the same spot, then it's just way easier to find it. And not that people are out trying to find it, but like St. Patrick's Day, like 2010, me and 3 of my buddies, we went out drinking. Like, it's St. Patrick's Day, you go out drinking, and we're just walking downtown Portland, just walking down the street on St. Patrick's Day, and my buddy opens, he's got a 10 of or an Altoid 10 full of joints, opens it up, fires one up, and we're just passing it. And me, being like the paranoid person that I am, I'm like, oh, we shouldn't do this. We're like walking downtown. Like, my buddy's like, dude, we're walking and it's Portland, like downtown Portland. Like, don't worry about it. And we're just like passing it back and forth. And we come up behind these people, and it's like a dude and his girlfriend and her mom or whatever. And we walk up behind them, and they don't see right away that we're behind them, but they are like, oh, smells like someone's having a good time. And then we just like walk past them, and they're like, oh, I guess it's them. And we just keep walking. And it was just like, nobody really gave a shit.
Yeah.
And I think if they just made weed legal, like, they could turn the economy around if they did that. There would be a lot less alcohol-related issues, and it would make a lot of people happy, I think.
Dude, it's a fucking completely different, like, state. Like, as far as bars and, or people smoking, people drinking, it's a lot easier to deal with people smoking. I don't mind fucking people having a little puff walking around town. Doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's because, I don't know, I'd rather fucking see that than someone with a bottle in a bag or whatever. But now people have those little vape pens and shit, and everyone's fucking hitting those all the time. I see those all over the fucking place.
Yeah, but is it what's in the vape pen?
Well, the ones that are like the ones you burn flowers with, as opposed to the ones where it's like the
nicotine syrup.
You can tell a little difference. You can, and there's, you can assume, I guess, is more the thing. You can assume with those that people are smoking some sort of, I guess not flower, some oil, but the extract of the flower. Some good shit though, man. I don't know. It's just fucking different.
Yeah.
Different thing, man. Like, when I went to Mexico, I was on a cruise, like 2003, and it's like the second day, and I didn't have any fucking herb, because like I had to fly down to Long Beach and then take the fucking cruise out from there. So I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna fucking bring weed on the airplane and go down to California and then take it from there? So like the second night, I went up, might have been the first night, but I went up out on the deck to smoke a cigarette, and I fucking got that smell, dude. So I like go up, I like look around, and I see up on the very top deck there's a group of like 7 or 8 people fucking smoking a fucking joint. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going up there. So I'm up there, and I fucking met these people, and then we all started hanging out. It was a bunch of people that were like around my age, and I went out like when we were down in Mexico one day. I forgot where we were. I think we were in maybe Puerto Vallarta or something. But like when we got back, we're going back onto the boat. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's like the boat isn't really customs. Like, you don't have to really,
check stuff in and...
Yeah. So you just like walk in, and so I had stuff in my, I had those swim shorts that have like underwear like inside on it, and just fucking stuffed it in there, man. Went back onto the boat, and it was cool for the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
Kind of made friends with everybody that way, but yeah, man, like I smelled that shit, dude. I fucking went up there, dude. I'm like, okay, I got that fucking, I know where that's gonna be, and saw a group of people standing in a circle up on the top. I'm like, I think it's those people. So I just went right up there, and No, not now. I fucking. I don't know. It was weird, man. And then like, a couple of people up there ended up being from Beaverton, and we're friends with one of my friends.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird shit, man. And so like, I go up there and I'm like, yeah, we're from Beaverton. I'm like, oh fuck, dude. That's weird, man. I'm like, I'm from West Lynn. And it's like,
Well, just imagine too if they had like, like, I don't know if they would sell, like, say that, okay, say weed's legal and then and you're allowed to smoke it in public, and then they regulate it like alcohol, and then they have clubs, or we'll call them lounges. Discotheques, alright, discotheques, I like that. So, I mean, it would be, they would have, I mean, it wouldn't be wise to serve alcohol at the discotheques.
right.
But it would be cool if they had, just various discotheques where you come in and you can buy, for $5 buy a joint, or
but
$10 for a top shelf, and then you tip the waitress $1 or whatever.
Well, that could. They don't like having them like in the same place. Like the only way you can do it is if you have like a card or something, and you can be able to buy the stuff there, and then consume it however you may consume it. But like there's this place that was up in Vancouver, BC called Blunt Brothers, and that place was pretty wild. I went up there. I'd go up there a good amount of times. So it was, it's sort of the touristy thing to do. I mean, you can fucking smoke up like, it's like here now, basically, is what Canada was in like 2000, between 2001 and 2005 or 2006. I had a buddy who was, he went to school up at UBC, because he was a Canadian guy, but then he ended up going to school up there because it was cheaper, because he was, I think, still a citizen or something. But so he went up there. But this Blunt Brothers place, dude, was fucking. It was cool. It was like they have these big couches that were like these couches, this big leather fucking things you just sink into, and you can like. You can just smoke in there, dude. Like it's a whole big fucking. It's like a. Like kind of like a sports bar type of place. Not like sports bar, but like a cafe type of place, I guess.
Discoteca.
Discoteca, Yeah, it was like just a whole bunch of little booths and shit to sit down at, and then but there was this little tiny room that was like. As big as a little bigger than a closet, and that's where you smoke cigarettes. You smoke cigarettes in like this little tiny room, dude. This little enclosure, like maybe like 3-4 phone booths put together, man.
It's like dimly lit, like poor ventilation for cigarettes only.
Yeah, it's just like from the front door, it's like in the far, like the place goes straight back, and it's like in the back part of it, and like the rest is everyone just like smoking shit. Like, you can buy like papers there and stuff, and but you had to go next door. Like one of the times I went there, I think my buddy was gone, and because it was later on. I went up there, stayed at this place that was advertised in High Times. No, maybe it was the time. Okay, no, maybe it was the time before that. One time I stayed at this place that was advertised in High Times, and that was fucking weird. Weird fucking place, man. I go in there and, like, we paid for our shit, like, with $100 bills and shit, and, like, since we paid for it, this guy fucking took, like, a whole bunch of, like, pure, like, Molly and shit, like, Fucking crushed it up, took $100 bill, fucking snorted this shit. He was like, what do you guys need for the night? Like, oh man, this is gonna be fucking crazy shit, man. Here we go. But, the time before that, so we were at Blunt Brothers, and, so next, well, very closely located, there was a, Hell's Angels chapter, and they told us to go there to get the fucking shit, to get the weed.
Yeah.
And so we go up there, we have to like walk up these stairs, and like there's a security camera thing to like get let in and shit, and you go and you ring this doorbell, and you can only go into this like front little room, but there's all these like probably like 7 or 8 bikers, some are like playing games on a computer, some are just standing there. And you go in and you're like, yeah, we want like, you know, like we got like a half ounce or something, you know.
And there was what, like 4 or 5 of you?
Yeah, but a couple, it was like, I think it was, yeah, maybe 4 of us, and like only 2 of us could go in.
Okay.
The other 2 had to like wait outside, and so yeah, they hooked us up, everything was straight, but I mean, dude, it was fucking intimidating. Like, I didn't like cross our minds like that's who it was till like, you know, once we got out, and like, oh shit. So yeah, we gotta meet the Hell's Angels and fucking buy herb off of them. And yeah, went back in there, man, and blazed, and dude, it was cool, man. It would be like guys in business suits in their 40s, like puffing a joint with like some like 18-year-old like kid with a skateboard, and like it was just like everyone's chilling, dude. Didn't matter, man. It was just like, it's kind of a cool place, man. Like there'd be like you're sitting down somewhere and like other people come sit down with you and fucking smoke. It's not like, because you know, it's bars like, hey man, can I sit next to you? It's like, dude, get the fuck away from me, man. I'm gonna punch you in the neck. You don't back the fuck up, man. This is my party. Who the fuck are you? You know, but this is just like, hey man, like, here, hit this fucking joint, man. Hit this pipe.
Yeah.
And it was cool. So I had this idea. I wanted to open this place called, it was going to be a bowling alley that you could smoke pot in, and I wanted to call it Smoke and Bowl. And just, you'd bowl, and then you'd fucking smoke, and then they had good food at this place, at Blunt Brothers too, man. It was cool shit. But then one day, this place, it was like, I think it was the same day or within the same week. There was this place called Super Torta in Oregon City. It was a Mexican restaurant I used to always go to. And it burnt down.
Uh-oh.
And then, but the same day, Blunt Brothers, and there's a seed company next to it, and there was the marijuana reform party's place. They all had these like separate dumpster fires that were all started like right behind their places on the same day. And so like all these places burned down like the same day, and then but they've all since been rebuilt. But it was a fucking crazy day. I think that was like 2005 or 2000, something like that. 2006 maybe.
Smoke and bowl.
Smoke and bowl, man. Yeah, fucking.
Would it be like smoke and then like
the letter N with an apostrophe, bowl, dude, and yeah, man, that was my shit, dude.
What about like how big would it be? Like how many lanes? Like what kind of food would you have? Like what kind of drinks would you have? Like,
oh man, well
would it be like cosmic bowling every like just all the time, or would it be like regular bowling?
You can't have cosmic bowling all the time, dude. If I worked in a bowling alley for a while, dude, if I had cosmic bowling all the time, I wouldn't be able to take it, man. Like, you can only do cosmic bowling so much.
Okay.
But I don't know, man. You gotta switch up a little bit. But I probably wouldn't want that many lanes, because there's a lot of lanes. That's a lot of fucking, like, there's a lot more upkeep in a bowling alley than I fucking ever thought that there was, man. Like, You have to do a lot of shit to a fucking bowling alley. So it's not like as great an idea as I want to now. And not a lot of people bowl out here in Portland, except for people who are like really into...
I bring my glove.
Yeah, I have my own ball, I have shoes. These shoes were expensive, man. They were fucking...
And when I don't go to the bowling alley, I go to the pool hall and bring my cue and my glove. And...
I keep them both in my trunk.
Yeah.
And I like to open my trunk a lot. So, look, I have a pool cue and a bowling ball. Whole set. Yeah, I have my own chalk. I have my own gloves for bowling and pool. They're separate gloves.
See, and the other cool thing about, like, if weed was legal and regulated, like, they could do it at, like, movie theaters. Like,
oh, yeah.
Just imagine, like, I mean, the only discrepancy, I think, might be, like, you're watching the movie and then there's, like, a cloud of smoke.
Right, but I think most people who would be going there for that would be... But dude, you used to be able to smoke in movie theaters. You used to be able to smoke cigarettes in movie theaters.
Right.
And like, up until... I mean, like when I was a kid you could smoke in a movie theater. I don't know when that fucking officially changed, but I remember there being a place you could smoke.
I'm trying to think, like, when I was really young, like maybe... I want to say, like, the early 90s. I was born in 85, so maybe, like, 93, 94, Sherry's had smoking and non-smoking.
Oh, dude, Sherry's, you could smoke at Sherry's until, like, because we were, like, 18, 19, we were going to Sherry's and fucking smoking cigarettes. Because, but it probably wasn't much after that. It was maybe, like, 19 or 20, so it would have been like 2001 or so. You could smoke in fucking Sherry's.
Really?
Like, yeah. Because I know at least in 2000, because I was 18, and then they changed the law. You can't smoke in restaurants. And that was probably around, maybe around 2001 or 2002. And then you could still do it in Washington for a little while. So we'd go and drive up to Vancouver and go to Sherry's or Denny's or whatever and go just in there and, smoke cigarettes and drink coffee and whatever else us fucking rebellious 18, 19-year-olds like.
Going against the grain.
Yeah, we're gonna smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. And look at me now, man. Drinking cigarettes, smoking coffee, dude. Doing it all, bro.
That's crazy, but, that would be cool, like movie theaters and then...
Dude, sporting events, like at the Rose Garden, like every time during a Blazer game, you could fucking smoke bowls during that, dude. Like every time they score a 3-pointer, everyone take a bong hit. Like passing shit around, man.
Well, and they could have it set up so it's like, they have like the beer carts and the food carts like outside. Like they could have
like at the Timbers games and shit.
Right. They could have like even if it had to be like a secluded area because, like even if it had to be like outdoors because you're smoking weed and some people just, it's not their thing.
Yeah.
They could have like the little alcoves where people are allowed to smoke and they could have like a weed cart out there where, you're like, someone's like loading the, you're buying like $5 or you're buying bong hit or whatever and like just hit that and then fucking go into the game and like that would just be sick. It would just be way too sick. Like just super, super cool.
Yeah. You gotta fucking do it different though, man. Like the crowd reaction, like once you start everyone's already high, but like, a little different with the high crowd than the drunk crowd. And like at a soccer game and stuff, it might be a little different. Like, a lot of people like to get drunk at soccer games. I guess at any sporting event. Not a lot of people, a lot of people get stoned at sporting events too. But, I don't know, man. It's a weird place. These sporting events. I haven't been to any for a long time, man.
I went to a Blazer game March 1st.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Against who?
I think it was the Nuggets.
Oh, dude. Nice, man. I ever tell you about... Were there a lot of signs?
When I went with my buddy a couple of years ago, we took signs and he had a sign that said "Blaze the Nugs."
Oh, dude.
And I held up a sign that said "Yeah, dude."
Dude, you want to see it? Want to see something, man?
Sure.
About Blaze the Nuggets.
Yeah, Blaze the Nugs.
This is my claim to fame for life.
You're riding that wave all the way in.
Dude, I thought this was like the highlight of my life forever, dude. So yeah, I figured out this was what I needed to do. I had a friend tell me I stole the idea from him.
All right.
But here, I'll just show you this first.
We gotta. Did you want to stop the podcast or talk through this?
No, we can just talk through this real quick. Shit.
Was that you?
Yeah.
That didn't look like you.
It was me next to him. I'm like.
Oh, next to him.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, pause that shit.
I'll pause it. Oh shit.
In the red?
Yep. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh, still hold on. Right there. Like, my buddy said, he's like, we're going to a game, man. He's like, going to go to a game. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go to a Blazer game, man. He's like, who are they playing? He's like, I don't know, man, I'll check. He's like, well, dude, it's Denver. I'm like, oh my god. Okay, so let me tell you this story, man. My friend fucking, he had this idea, man. He's like, I want to go to a Blazers game, and I want to, when they play Denver, and have a sign that says Blaze the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna totally do that. He's like, so I told him, it's like, okay, dude, I'll go buy the fucking materials right now to go. Like, I'll go buy the poster board and the shit. I'll make a sign. And so we went to the game, made a sign, and he's like, where are the tickets? He's like, dude, they're fucking 6th row behind the fucking Nuggets bench, dude. So like, dude, so like, we were right there, like, we were making all the fucking players crack up. This was like February 2006.
Okay.
Allegedly, we were the first people to do this, man. And then, so like, the next year though, man, like, there were no home games on TV at all of the Blazers playing the Nuggets.
Really?
Yeah, which I think could have been maybe because, like, dude, that sign, there was a few times, dude, that sign went up, dude, and, but now it's different, but, dude, it was wild, dude. That was my fucking thing. I wanted to do the most ever in life, man. But I just remember a lot of the fucking team liking that. And then, cause I think it was maybe around that same time, maybe, cause there was a point where like all the Blazers were getting, like, they were all cannabis consumers, and they were all getting like the same bud that I was getting, and so it was really fun. Like, I'd get stoned, and then I watched the Blazer game, and I'd be like, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm kind of like, I'm laying back in the chair, like, and then I see them fucking playing, and they're all like, like lazy, like, just sort of, flinging their arms around a little bit, just like, dude, I'm just the same high as they are, I'm like, they're not gonna win tonight, man. So I was able to fucking make a lot of predictions on games by how high I was.
That's good.
They were all high.
Mm-hmm.
They were all high, man. There was like a couple people I think that weren't, but
right.
A lot of them were pretty high, man. That's the Blazers, man.
Right. That would be so sick. And plus, like, how many people would drink less or stop drinking if they could smoke in public, or, you could go to a Blazer game and, like, pay, you pay $5 or, I mean, it would probably be more expensive, pay like $7 and get, like, a huge
just
bong rip or
having
whatever.
like a one of the crap beers or some shit.
Yeah.
You know, same thing. Like, you have a crap beer, have a bong hit. You know?
No.
I think that'd be pretty alright. I'd be alright with that, dude. I'd fucking do that and walk back and sit in my seat.
Smoke a J at halftime.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone's taking a piss and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, fuck that, I'm gonna go over and bomb hit.
Yeah. Have a pack of Red Vines.
Oh, dude, yeah, man.
An $8 pack of Red Vines.
Oh, I miss Red Vines, dude.
Or you go to a freaking 3D movie and freaking just puff tough during the whole thing. Yeah, it would be, I mean, it's going to happen in the next few years, but, well, maybe like 10, that would be, you know, I think that you'd be able to do that. I don't know, I just wish that they need to get up on that, like, right away. You know?
Yeah. I remember people saying they used to go to the laser light shows and at OMSI, and they'd say whenever the little cloud of smoke would come up, they'd smoke a bowl. I'm like, dude, you can't fucking do that, man. Like, it's gonna smell, man. Like, no, dude, it'll be cool, man. It's just clouds of smoke. People just think, I'm like, no, it's not like that, man. You can't just go and smoke, dude.
People think all clouds of smoke are the same.
Yeah.
And that's why you get the vaporizer.
Yeah, and you're probably okay then. I had a dude fucking, it was one of the first times he got high, man. He fucking crawled under the seat, man, and grabbed my shoe at the laser light show and fucking threw it across the planetarium. I was like, what the fuck, man? And we go like, because there was like nobody in there really. There was like, you know, like 15 people in there or some shit. So, yeah, I had to go like walk around and try to find my fucking shoe.
You guys by chance see a shoe come by here?
Yeah, my asshole friend decided to fucking throw it across, man. Just for no reason. I'm like, okay, man. So I gotta climb around some shit, but it was fun.
I gotta exercise today.
Yeah?
Yeah, I didn't yesterday. It's weird, I get like, if I don't know, like I have to get like psyched up to do it. You know, I have to get like pumped up and I found this article where this guy interviews Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah.
And like, I always kind of reread that whenever I want to get like pumped up to work out, you know, because he's not, because the traditional thinking is that like if you're strong, you're gonna be like big and bulky, you know, like if you're strong, you're gonna be all puffed out, you're gonna be all like freaking looking like Batista or Mason Ryan or John Cena or any of that crap, but you know, Antonio Cesaro, like he's like super strong and he's not like super puffy,
right?
You know, and yeah, I just reading about him is all motivating because you know he just talks about like the importance of eating good and taking accountability and working hard and having fun and yeah, I want to just get like, I just want to be like just fucking ripped and like super strong, you know.
I just took the, well, I'm just starting to get back into it.
Yeah.
I'm just doing, I don't know, like I do push-ups and sit-ups and ride my bike.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Right. I found this lady was selling P90X for like $20, like the whole set for $20, and yeah, she hooked it up. So I've been doing that. But yeah, whenever I'm like really sore, then I'm just like, you know, and then I'm like, I just want to rest.
Yeah.
But
that's when you gotta get out and fucking do it again.
You gotta get the built up, you know, the built up acid or whatever it's called, the you know, whatever's causing the soreness. That's how you get unsore, is to do something active. maybe I'll go to the golf range and hit a bucket of balls, and that'll wake me up or something. I don't know.
Go swimming, man.
Huh?
Go swimming.
Swimming? Where would I go swimming at?
You go to the fucking... Yes, I don't know. The only one I know of, Clackamas. I'm gonna go out there. I go out there every once in a while. It's the North Clackamas Aquatic Park by the mall.
Which... Clackamas Town Center?
By Clackamas Town Center, out there. There's like an indoor water park. There's like a wave pool and water slides and diving board and shit. But
diving board would be sick.
Yeah.
Practice my front flips and my... You know, that... Oh, man.
You have to pay more for all that stuff. But if you want to pay, you can only pay like $3.75 and you get lap swims and sit in the hot tub. Or you can pay like, it's like, I don't know, somewhere like $9-10 or something for to go do all the other stuff. And you gotta like do shit with a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And it's kind of creepy fucking, you know, being there without kids and like wanting to like play in the wave pool and like go down the water slides and stuff, dude. It's
I remember my buddy and I, because we had a place it was in Springfield. We grew up in Eugene, and it was called I was like Willamette Swim Center or something, but everyone called it the wave pool because it had, you know, it had a, you know, artificial wave producing machine, a long slide, then there was a lap swim and a diving board and all that. But we were talking, we're like, oh, you wanna go to the wave pool for old time's sake? And he's like, yeah, let's see. And we were like on the fence about it, and then we're like, all right, let's go to the wave pool. So we go to the wave pool. It's me and him. We're like in our early to mid 20s, and we go there, and it was just like it was just really like awkward. It was really uncomfortable, really quick. You know, you had like super busty like 14-year-olds like on the inner tubes, and like the waves are coming, and they're just like, and you're just like, I feel like I should not be looking at this.
Yeah, that's when you gotta go into the lap pool, and you just go in the lap pool and you hang out with the people that are like 75
Yeah.
and like are like really good shape too, like better shape than you are. And they're just sitting there fucking going back and forth, and you hang out with them and you go in the hot tub. Hot tubs usually alright. I'm a big fan of hot tubs, dude.
Just sit and veg out.
Yeah, I can fucking sit in a hot tub for a long time, man. I almost died in a hot tub one time.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was inebriated.
Oh.
I fell asleep.
Damn.
But luckily I had my head hanging out of the water. It was when I was in high school, and it was like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I got done at like noon and started drinking and fell asleep. I woke up and I'm like, I don't know how long I was asleep for, but a little while I was definitely not there. I got up and I'm like, oh shit. Just like in the middle of this like open complex, like it was this big apartment complex, and it's like one of the hot tubs like in the middle of it. And yeah, just fucking laying there with a fucking drink next to me.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. It was before I was drinking, man. Drank a little bit when I was that age, but that was that age where you don't really know how to drink, but you're drinking.
Yeah, and you just like pounding. I remember one time I was when I was working at Burger King. I was like 17, or I was like 18. This was right before I went to work at the deli. I was 18, and our manager was 21, so he'd always buy us our alcohol. And him and another coworker came over, and we were playing Nintendo 64, and he had brought a 6-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade. And as soon as he got over there, I was just like, oh yeah, like sweet shit. So I pound one, and then like in like, I don't know, like another like 15 minutes, like drink another one. And you know, it's like 7 o'clock in the evening, and I'm sitting there pounding these in my room, and I pound those, or I pound the first one and drink the second one, and pass out like on my bed. You know, it's like 7:30 in the evening, and I'm just like sawing logs. And then like 20 minutes later, like I wake up and I go out into like the living room, and like my mom was like, "So, like you wake up or something?" I'm like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, you were sawing logs earlier." I'm just like, "What? Like, what do you mean?" She was like, "Yeah, you were zonked out." I'm like, huh? Like I thought I just like was chilling or whatever, but those 2 drinks like just hit me really hard. But
done for.
yeah, and then I woke up and I was ready to keep going, but that was crazy. That was weird, crazy weird experiences. You know, like I don't know, weird times, weird fucking times. But yeah, yeah. So did I tell you I got that job at Providence?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got another interview on Wednesday at OHSU for a different job.
Oh, shit.
So,
nice, man.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, man. It's pretty alright place, man. What part?
Well, it's the Marquam Hill, so it's the OHSU, like the
Up
one
on
that's
the
like,
hill?
yeah, and I have to review what the job description is, but the job title is transportation aide. So, there was another transportation job that I looked at, and I think I'm just gonna be like, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna be like an assistant to like, if there's, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be moving patients around the hospital or if I'm gonna be driving patients places or what. But it would be really cool if I was moving patients around the hospital, because then that would give me the opportunity to get familiar with the hospital and get my name out there and meet people and network, and then hopefully get a more kind of like, I don't know, I want to get in, you know, my first goal is to get into a big hospital, which I'm doing with both places, but then my next goal is to you know, get full-time, get benefits, and then just work there until I finish nursing school, and then be a nurse at the, you know, well, work my way into the ER, and then it would be cool. I've been applying to all the emergency room technician jobs, but they want all their ER techs to have the CNA 2 certification, and I only have the CNA 1.
Gotcha.
So, but I'm going to get my CNA 2 certification this summer, and then hopefully I'll be able to get in as a ER tech, because that would be so sick. Like, oh my god, I've been shot, I'm going to die. No, you won't. Don't worry.
Dude, I couldn't do that shit, man.
Oh man, bro, I want freaking arms that are all fucking just twisted and busted in 8 different places, and skin like peeling off the face, and hands crushed, and like stab wounds. That's exciting.
Yeah. Not for me, man. I'm cool without it, man. I'm glad you can do it, man. 'Cause that's like one of those things that I'm glad someone else can do it, so I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and someone who enjoys doing it is even better, man. For me, who'd be trying to get the fuck out wherever I could, man.
Well, and it's like some hospitals, like especially like the bigger ones, they'll do situations where it's like, you know, you'll get paid a certain amount just for being on call. Like you'll get paid like $10 an hour just for being on call, and then if you have to come in, you'll make like your $40 an hour or whatever, like.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's once you're a nurse, but
yeah,
that would be sick.
Being on call, yeah, but it's good to get paid at least for it, because being on call is fucking can be stressful.
Well, I mean, you just
have to know.
You just don't go and get fucked up. Don't,
right.
Roll up a J and puff tough. Like, I mean, if you're sitting around playing video games or working on, producing some music or doing something around the house or whatever, like,
yeah,
doing something productive, shit, But, yeah.
It can come at a weird time.
Huh?
It can come at a weird time, though. It can also come right in the middle of your fucking productivity, dude.
When you're just in the zone.
When you're in the zone, dude.
Yeah.
I've had that happen.
Oh, I've had
like, fuck you.
I've had some times where it's like the productivity just strikes. Like, I used to, like, when I had my old laptop, I first started getting serious. It was probably like the second or third time I was really taking a swing at learning Fruity Loops, and I had to work at like 7 in the morning, and I opened it up at like 9 o'clock in the evening, and I just got into this zone. I just got right into the zone, and I stayed up all night working on this one track, and I stayed up all night working on this one track, and then ended up calling in sick in the morning because I didn't sleep all night, but this track, yeah, I still have it. I still have it today, but it's just so badass. It's just such a badass. And it's hard, it's crazy because sometimes you don't, you don't realize you're capable of that until you enter this zone, and it's just like kind of like a train wreck, like, thing, like a magical, like, situation, and then at the end you're like, wow, that's what came out of it,
Yeah.
That's what I miss. I want to get my I need to get my laptop and I need to get my desktop repaired, because they're both, the desktop is doing like the blue screen of death, and then the laptop, like the screen has gone out. But I have FL Studios on my desktop, and yeah, I miss messing with that program.
Yeah, man, it's fucking. It's hard, like, when you don't have it, man. Like when I went to Idaho, dude, I didn't have any of my shit with me, and I get these ideas. I'm like, fuck it, I don't have my equipment with me, man. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, and like, now that I'm kind of like, now that they're having me do like, we're doing like character develop in wrestling, like, I have like 3 different songs that like I really want to use for entrance music.
Yeah.
But 2 of the songs are from like European, like British dubstep bands, so I mean, I don't know if I'd have to like download iTunes and then look for the song, like I'm not really sure how I would go about getting a hold of these tracks. And then the other one was from some of my, I should just play it. Can I play it? You want to hear it?
Well, the thing is, I would have to like write it in there, because it's on YouTube, so I can't like be playing like tracks.
Right.
Because I'd have to go enter it in, or also like do this third party, I have to match a third party fucking things. It goes and like seeks out, it goes and scans through the whole fucking podcast, and if it like, it picks up on the songs, and it like.
Alright, I'll play it after then.
Okay.
It's a good fucking song. It's fucking, it just, it makes me want to get up and dance.
And that's the fucking, what you need then. That's the song you should be having.
And that's why I digress back to the FL Studios. I want to get my computer fixed so I could just create my own track.
That's the way, man. Like, yeah, that's what happened with, I don't know. It's a lot better when you use your own shit, man. Like, and it's free, and it's your own touch, man.
And and that just gives me ideas to expand and like do entrance themes for other people.
Uh-huh.
You know, because if they're like, oh, I really like, because you know, like they could be using whatever song they want, but if you make your own beat form, you can give them a 30-second build and then some sort of a drop, and then you know, if, depending on their character or what they want. I mean, that right there is exciting in itself, creating an entrance theme for a different wrestler, you know, or, you know, the whole locker room.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be fucking dope, dude. And you don't have to pay licenses, just have to pay you.
Right.
You know, that's a lot easier. I'm sure there's some people that are gonna really want what they have. I'm sure. There's gotta be at least one who wouldn't be able to fucking... It's like, that's my fucking thing. I'm not gonna change my fucking song, man.
Right.
But, you know, I bet a lot of people would be open to it. I think that'd be cool. You know, especially, just fucking see what they say.
Well, if you use the whole angle, like, what if you want to get out and what if you want to wrestle outside of DOA?
Yeah.
You know, you want to do other indie scenes, like, what if someone else has the same track, or a track by the same artist?
Right.
Or, you know, Callan Wraith uses the paparazzi rendition of Lady Gaga's song. Like, what if someone else uses For the Applause or a different... I mean, that's 2 songs by the same artist is pretty cheesy. You know? I mean, because you're going to know right away that it's both Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Let's Lady Gaga. You want to end it?
I would tap.
Well, it's just... Okay.
I'd slip it in.
Okay.
Would you slip it in?
Well, yeah, I mean... where do we start? Where were we started? Where did this whole thing come from? We started out talking about something.
I mentioned getting my computer fixed to do FL
Oh
Studios.
no, the very beginning.
The creation, being in the zone. What was before that?
Pokemon and...
That was way back. We were talking about legalizing weed and smoking and then the OMSI and the laser shows.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, that's...
I have no idea.
Hooray for memory. That's all I can say. Enjoy that shit, kids. Creep Portland weird.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.